Hello everyone. Today I bring you yet another analytics problem which gives very good insight about customer acquisition with respect to time period in sales world. Let's explore the dataset and understand the problem statement. As you can see, this is a sample dataset of online gift retail sales company. There are both numerical columns and string columns present in this dataset. Important column to observe for our problem is customer ID. So customer ID is nothing but the unique identifier of a particular customer. Then we have quantity, is the quantity of product was purchased in one transaction. So each transaction have a invoice ID and invoice timestamp. As you can see, the invoice IDs are also repeated here. So that tells basically in one invoice, these many products are purchased with certain quantities. Here the product can be described as unique identifier. Product number would be item code, and then each product description is captured in item description. So dataset also has a very important column called invoice timestamp, which tells when the sales happened. So here, if you closely see, it only have the date, even though it talks about timestamp. We are not capturing the time here. So let's consider only the date. And one more update here is if let's check all the data, and all the data is of 2011 year. So we are only checking the data of 1 year, that is 2011. Let's go to the start of the file. This is our input data set, and our problem statement here is to calculate the revenue. So revenue, as I said, would be uh, the unit price multiplication with quantity. It gives the amount for that particular product purchase. Uh, so that is our revenue. But we need that revenue to be calculated quarter wise. So that means we need to do certain aggregation based on the quarter. So in 1 year, in 2020, 2011, the number of quarter is quarter one, quarter two, quarter three, and quarter four. So we have to aggregate the data based on quarter one, quarter two, quarter three, quarter four. And also we need to show what is the revenue contribution by percentage of customer which are acquired in a respective quarters. So basically, what it means is we need to label each customer when that customer made his or her first purchase in a particular quarter of the year. Then the customer acquired label would be, let's say, Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. Let's let's solve the problem in Tableau. I have imported the data. As you can see, it has all the columns from the dataset, gift retail international online sales. So before approaching the problem, let's first create first calculated field which gives us the revenue. So revenue is the multiplication of unit price into quantity. So let's create a calculated field, name it as revenue. Okay, now we have revenue as a calculated field. Then the second step would be, before moving to the second step, Let's first explore what are the customer IDs are present in the data set, which we want to label it as Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4 based on in which quarter they have made the purchase, their first purchase. So these are our customer IDs. So let's consider uh, 131234 9. This customer ID may have made their first purchase in quarter one. Then it would be labeled as Q1. But let's say customer 12361 might have made their first purchase in quarter three, then it can be labeled as Q3. So we have to label them. That is one part of the problem. The Before that, we also have to create one more calculated field to find out the quarter name from the invoice timestamp uh, attribute. So let's create a calculated field. I'll name it underscore quarter. We have quarter function. We take as input as date. So it will return which quarter it is, either 1, 2, 3, and 4, as we have 4 quarters in a year. So let's label it as a string quarter hyphen. So I'll concatenate. So I just converted the value 1, 2, 3, or 4 into a string and concatenating with quarter hyphen. So the calculation is valid. All right. So now we have two calculated field. One is quarter, another is revenue. So let's say if I put quarter 1 and revenue, right? Okay. Oops. Okay. Now you see the quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3, and quarter 4. So it is now revenue is aggregated by these values. Let's put it in the label also. So this is our amount, which are aggregated based on quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3, quarter 4. So next part of the solution would be, let's say consider quarter 4. So all the customer who have made the purchase in quarter 4, uh, we have to identify those customer and have to label those customer, that which customer made their first purchase in quarter 1, quarter 2, or quarter 3. So all in all, it tells about how much contribution in quarter 4 is made by the old customers who were acquired in quarter 1, quarter 2, and quarter 3. That is what our goal of this problem. So to do the labeling, we have to create another calculated field, and that calculated field will basically uh, identify and create the label with the value Q1, Q2, Q3, and Q4. So let's create another calculated field. So I will give a name as customer acquired quarter. So it will tell us in which quarter a particular customer got acquired. That means when that customer made their first purchase. Okay. So to do that, we have to use something called LOD, that is level of detail calculation in Tableau. And level of detail calculation, the concept of level of detail calculation is basically whatever the view is, irrespective of the view, it is the absolute value grouped by a particular dimension. Here, our dimension would be customer ID. So let's start building it so that it would be more clear. So the first expression, the LOD expression, there are three types of LOD expression, but here we will be using fixed LOD expression. So it will tell the irrespective of whatever the view, uh, it will aggregate the data for that particular dimension. So our dimension, absolute dimension for which we want to do the calculation would be uh, customer ID. So we are using fixed. There are uh, other LOD calculations are also there, like exclude and include. However, those can be discussed in a separate video. Let's concentrate only on fixed LOD. So fixed customer ID, the expression syntax is colon, and then invoice. So uh, invoice timestamp. So what we want to do as part of customer ID, how we are want to aggregate it. We want to find out what is the first purchase made by the customer, this particular customer. So to do that, we have to identify all the timestamps which are present in the data set. What is the minimum timestamp, minimum invoice timestamp for that particular customer? So we have a aggregated function called minimum. Let's put it this way. Let's close the curly bracket. Yeah. Now you can see what basically it will do for a from all the list of customer, uh, all the list of purchases for a particular customer ID, for each customer ID rather, what is the minimum invoice timestamp? This will calculate, irrespective of whatever the view is in this particular notebook. The next step would be we want to find out the uh, value like Q1, Q2, Q3. So even though it will give the least timestamp, from that least timestamp, we want to find out which quarter it falls. Either it fall in quarter one, quarter two, quarter three, and quarter four. So to do that, on top of that, we will use quarter function. So now this expression will return only four values: one, two, three, or four, right? Like, because we have only four quarters in a year. Now we want to convert it into string. Converted it, and we'll append string q. Right. Now you see the calculation is valid also. So this is our calculated field. which we want to construct for customer ID. So let's hit OK. Fine. Now that we have that value, let's drop it in the color mark. Yes. Now try to understand the quarter 4 bar. So in quarter 4 bar, uh, our total revenue, if let's say if I remove color bar, so the total revenue of quarter 4 is 437,196, and when we are subgrouping it by the new calculated field, which is customer acquired quarter, and I'm dropping it in the color mark. Now it is segregating further. So this is what we need. Finally, I have to calculate the percentage. These are the absolute numbers, but we want to display the bars in percentage. So let's try to do it. So to do that, there is something called uh, table calculation, quick table calculation in Tableau. Let's use that. So sum of revenue, rather than want to show it in absolute number, let's do a percentage. In quick table calculation, I will do percentage of total. Okay, and I will press the button control and drop it in the label. I will remove the old sum revenue, which gives the absolute value. So yeah, now I have the percentage. But now you can see the percentage value, it is giving the percentage value across the table. So all the bars, all the sub bars, it is considering and doing the across the table calculation. But I want to do the percentage calculation for each bar. So how we can do that is basically, let's yeah, let's do it first here. Let's edit table calculation. Rather than table across, let's do table down. Now you can see it's table down. I have to change it here also. Quick table calculation total, and the table calculation. Yeah, now it's okay. All right. So now it makes more sense. Consider quarter one. For quarter one, all the customers who have made the purchase in quarter one, let's say 50 records are there in quarter one, uh, uh, which are falling, the timestamp is falling under quarter one. All the purchases which are made, of course, everything would be 100% because there is no customer. That is the starting point of the sales. So the contribution is 100% of Q1. Now in quarter 2, we can see there are two separate bars. So which tells 75% uh, of purchases are made by Q1, and in quarter 2 to around 25% percentage of sales are made by the first time customer who have made the purchase in quarter 2. So similarly in quarter 3 and in quarter 4. So in quarter 3, if you can see Q3, only 14.54 percentage of customer, they are the new customer who have made the purchase, first time purchase in quarter 3, and 8.21 percentage of customer which are old customer who have made their first purchase in quarter 2, and still 77.26 percentage of customer who had made the purchase in quarter 3 are actually acquired or made their first purchase in quarter 1. So yes, this is what we need. So if we add up all the bar in quarter four, it will be 100%. Similarly, quarter three, it would be 100%. Quarter two, it would be 100%. So this is our table calculation, and this is our final output, what we want to show. I hope this is clear. In the next part, I will explore how to do the same use case in Salesforce Analytics tool. Until then, thanks for watching this video and please hit like if you find this video useful.